would you like to get your brand and an advert for it gently teased into the earphones of 100,000 highly engaged listeners, both within this show and promoting our partnership across Acast's other hit podcasts? Well, you can. We will even get creative and make the ad for you. Contact us through producerpool.co.uk and we will tell you all about the available sponsorship offers.
Today on Fantasy 5, it's France versus Turkey. For our Euro specials, the Noise Next Door will be creating European-themed five-a-side football teams against a stand-up comedy guest who will be representing their actual country. Now, both sides will be using characters from fiction, history and real life, as long as they hail from the appropriate nation. We'll also see what happens when these teams battle it out on the pitch. National pride is on the line. I'm Matt, and this is Tom, and we're today's pundits.
Hi, Matt. Yeah, it's you and I who will be providing the criticism and insight into the managers' lineups as they pick their players, and then later we'll be the ones in charge of the commentary for the highlights of the match.
Fantastic. Now, before we get to who our Noise Next Door member is, we're going to start with a real comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Eric Lampaert.
Hello!
Hello, sir. So you're going to be representing France.
That's correct, yes. Although I don't sound it. I've got a bit of a British accent, Charmaine.
Yeah, mate. And just, I can maybe, is there some little birds tweeting in the background? Is that the sound of England?
No, these are American birds, United States birds. You can tell by their sort of accent. But yeah, they're Los Angeles. It's a lot earlier here.
What is this? How early in the morning is it for you guys?
7 a.m.
Beautiful.
7 a.m. So,
dedication
it's an early kickoff. I tell you what, it's quite hard getting these Euro games watched because they all start at 6 a.m.
Wow, is an American garbage truck?
Yeah.
Wow, guys! Hey, we don't often treat our listeners here at the podcast, but you guys just heard a real live American garbage truck.
Well, you know what? It's because I'm in Hollywood, so I'm adding a little bit more, real life flavor to it. You know, you might hear some gunshots. You might hear. You honestly don't know what happens in Hollywood.
That's pretty cool. Hey, you might have had some famous garbage just being driven past you there. It's pretty exciting.
That's true. You never know.
Now, your team France, because you are French?
Yes, I am. I was born in France. My mum's French, but my dad's English. And so we lived all over Europe when I was in my first 12 years. We moved to the UK. That's why I sound British, because I used to speak like this. I had a very strong accent. And the bullies at school, they did not like that, no? And so I very quickly changed to camouflage among you guys, so I didn't get headbutted anymore.
Well, hey,
and then Brexit forced my hand, so I am officially British as well.
Okay, you're a British. Well, fantastic. Well, I got to say, that little spell of French coming into my ears was absolutely delightful. Please don't hold back. That sounded great.
Okay, pas de problème. Hein?
Now we have Robin. You are going to be representing Turkey.
I sure am, Matt. I'm not Turkish at all. I've been there once when I was about 12. I remember it a bit, and that's why I feel the deepest level of national pride for the Turkish team. I'm buzzing.
Yeah, you're really going to be fighting for it. I can't wait to hear all your very recognisable and famous Turkish people.
I tell you what, Turkey, famous people, 10 a penny in Turkey, 10 a penny. Also, before I even start the team, obviously I am going to go second today, but before I start, I'm going to apologise straight away to anybody who speaks Turkish and knows the correct way to pronounce all these names that I'm about to butcher. I'm going to do my absolute best, I promise.
Very good. Well, we are about to do some kicking off. Obviously, just a little spoiler warning. These guys might use fictional people, and they might be from a fictional universe, and then they might ruin that fictional universe for you. So this is a spoiler warning. Or they might all be real famous Turkish and French people, and we haven't ruined anything in your lives. Do make sure that you head over to iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, and follow and review Fantasy 5 with a lovely 5 stars, please. Now, without further ado, let's hear those Fantasy 5s. So, Eric, Team France, who's on your team?
Bon, il y avait plein de choix. Hein? There was a lot of choices, of course, because France is full of talent. And I was thinking of Napoleon, bien sûr, Bonaparte, to be the captain. Huh? He was very good at strategy. Yes. But turns out Russia is also playing the Euro, so I was like, maybe not. So Napoleon is not in the team. So instead, for captain, Charles de Gaulle. I thought that he would be very good. It's in his name. He will score many goals for the team. But also he led France free from Nazi Germany. So he's good. He's good at evading enemy tactics. And voilà, I trust him. So Charles de Gaulle.
Fantastic, Charles de Gaulle.
Just a personal trust.
Yeah, I've heard of him. That's a good start. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, for straight off the bat, the main reason being his name is Charles de Gaulle, I'm super into. And so he was the sort of end of World War II Prime Minister, President? What's the deal?
That's correct. He was Prime Minister. He fixed World War II.
He just fixed that right up.
I'm also delighted, by the way, that Napoleon didn't make the team, because in this game of football, he would be terrible because he famously didn't like defeat.
That was very good. Very good. It does not translate in France. He did not like les pieds. It does not work.
You said Charles was the captain. Did you have a position for him on the pitch? I don't know if you said.
Yes, I do not know the position names. In English, of course, I know them in French, but in English, I do not know. But he would be up front.
Yeah,
sure.
Up front. I mean, with all de Gaulle's, he's going to be a perfect striker, yeah.
Yeah.
Striker, that's the one. Striker. Donc, voilà.
Very good. Okay, so he's going to be up front. He's the captain. He's leading people. He led them away from Nazis, which I guess is good, but also toward goals, also good. So if you have any Nazis on the pitch, Turkish people, not many of them are Nazis, I don't think.
Can't confirm. Do not know.
Robin, you should know Turkey pretty.
I don't think Nazis, no, and certainly not on my team. I actually, as a manager, run a very strict no Nazi policy.
Okay, no
that's
Nazis.
I'd say that's the number one picking thing over and above if they're any good at football is are they a far right Nazi organisation? And if they are, not getting picked.
Fair point.
I mean, far right is a good position. Far right is a good position
a good position as well
on the pitch.
Yeah, my teams are all really strong on the left, but on the right, real weak. If you want to score against me, right flank, that's it. Right wing.
It's definitely the right move. I picked Hitler when I was Austria, and it did not go well for me. Austria lost, and I really do blame Hitler for a lot of things, but mainly losing that matchup.
Fair play. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, good start, Eric. We've got your captain
Merci.
Up at the front. Who else do you have?
À côté de lui, next to him, also in the position of the striking positions. That's a good sentence. I'm allowed to make mistakes with the English language because it is not my first language. Huh?
Absolutely. We do thank you for bridging the language barrier. Yeah.
It's not a bridge, it's a tunnel.
Yeah,
little joke about the tunnel. My other player will be Jeanne d'Arc, bien sûr, Joan of Arc, because I think she would be great for free kicks because she'll bend the ball, and that is why she's called Arc.
Yes, Arc is the ball. Brilliant.
That's right. It is the movement of the ball, and that is why she's called Arc.
It's amazing. I'll be very impressed if all of your players actually have names that are a thing in football. I'm very impressed.
Well, I made an effort for this game. But also, one little thing that's very useful with Joan is that she obviously was in tune with the frequency of God. She could literally hear him speak, and God, of course, knows everything. He even knows the results of the game. And so he will be able to guide Joan towards a better result.
That's good. And also, if she asks God, do we win this one? No, sorry, Joan. Then you don't have to waste your energy on it. Just don't try.
That's right. In fact, it's been a hindrance in some games where she hasn't even bothered. But then we burn her at the stake.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's what she gets.
It's the only way you learn, kids.
Is that a potential problem with Joan though? She died very young. Like she was like 19,
she was 19 years old. But she was burned at the stake 3 times. She can handle it.
Sorry, she was burnt at the stake 3 times.
Yes, just the English wanted her well done.
Classic English steak order, yeah. Okay, so are you not worried that she's not going to last the full match? You know, she taps out pretty early in terms of, you know.
Well, she actually led France to victory in the 100 Years' War, which is a long time. So actually, she can last the full 90 minutes.
Despite only being 19 years old, she lasted for 100 years. That's impressive, to say the least.
It's pretty strong. Now, obviously, there's a strict no drugs policy in these games. Are you worried about Joan being a massive heroine?
I liked it so much more than I thought I was going to.
It took me a little time to realize the joke. I took it too seriously. No, I don't think we'll have a problem with the drugs.
Yeah. Oh, actually, do you know, I'm just looking at facts of Joan Arc here. Apparently, when she was in charge of all these knights and stuff, she actually was very particular about swearing. Didn't like her knights swearing or behaving indecently. Like skipping mass or saying Willy sandwich or some horrendous swears. So, yeah.
We do not say Willy sandwich. Un sandwich de zizi? Non, on dit pas ça en France. Hein. Oh là là. A panini de zizi? No.
Oh, I don't like that it's a panini. A panini implies that it's been toasted and it's got cheese all covering it. I would rather a sandwich, but...
Une baguette de zizi. By the way, did you know that Willy translated is zizi? I think that's what's nice.
Wait,
that's
so
pretty good.
The Italian chain restaurant is just called French penis?
Yeah, going back to my English accent, every time I walk past that restaurant, I laugh for, I'd say, a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Oh, they do really good garlic bowls at Willie's. Fantastic. She sounded like a really good one. She's what's she got? She's driven away mistresses and prostitutes who have travelled with her army. Okay, so
that's right. So she'll be able to fend them off during a practice of the games.
Exactly, keeping her team focused as well.
That's correct.
Yeah. Wow, this is sounding like a really good choice, I think.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup, merci.
Was she actually a fighter? I mean, obviously, I kind of know roughly the story, but did she fight physically, front-line fighting, or was she more of a sort of talisman?
She was frontline. Yeah, she was frontline.
That's kind of
she was she was like the French Mulan, but instead of a little dragon, we had a little cockerel.
Where's that Disney movie? Joan of Arc with her amusing cockerel sidekick.
Who would voice it? Who would voice it? I want to know who would voice it.
What, the cockerel? Probably Alan Tudyk, because he does them all at the moment. But,
yeah, true. Yeah.
Someone French.
Yeah.
What was the artist guy? He'd be fun. He didn't speak much, though. Who knows?
Oh, Jean Dujardin.
Yeah, he was good. Does he make the starting lineup?
He did not, but his name is Dujardin of the Garden, so maybe we'll play on him.
He could be the pitch.
Home stadium on Jean Dujardin. That's amazing. I love it.
Very good. One final thing. I realised a tactic you may have overlooked, Eric, for Joan of Arc. Now, she sported the bob haircut. Looked very good in it. So with the bob haircut, obviously, kind of looks the same from the front as it does from the back. So, potential tactic, on the back of her head, she just draws some eyes in her mouth. And people are like, oh, she's looking at me. I can't sneak up and attack now. But she's actually, oh no, she's watching the ball come in. Don't you worry about it.
Matthew, can you please not reveal our tactics? Charles de Gaulle is not happy right now. He's screaming at me. Putain de merde, c'est quoi ce mec là? Charles, s'il te plaît. It's just a game, hein? Non, mais c'est incroyable, merde. I'm sorry, Charles. Okay, well, he's just gone to smoke 20 cigarettes in one go.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I'll keep the really good tactics more of a secret. Fantastic. So you've got Joan up front. Who now we're moving further back in the lineup? Who do you have?
Let's go absolutely further back. Let's go in goal.
Yeah.
I've got Andre the Giant.
Yes.
I think that makes sense. He does not even need to move.
He just stands in the goal, and any ball that comes his way,
Wow, so honoured that we have Andre the Giant on the podcast right now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes, that's right. If you've got any questions for Andre, he'll happily answer them.
Andre, do you ever think you could have gone for maybe a slightly larger leotard?
Ho, ho, ho.
Typical Andre. Typical Andre.
Classic Andre.
But yes, I chose Andre the Giant in goal because his hands would literally just pummel the ball away, and in case there's a little bit of trouble on the pitch, he can crush the skulls of the other players.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sounded a little German there. That's the Vichy government coming out of me. I'm sorry.
Okay, so skull crushing, yeah, that's a tactic. You could probably get away with it once, yellow card.
that's a yellow card. But that's it, really. I did not think any further than this. That he's just a big old man, and he can fit in the whole of the goal.
Yeah, I think he's 7'4", I believe.
7'4". And because I'm a slight fan of the old wrestling, Sam would be even more into this. But yeah, his hands were 16 inches long. 16 inches. Like, he had such huge hands.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And Joan of Arc is a big fan of his hands. For football purposes, of course.
Yeah.
He was an absolute monster, wasn't he? And in The Princess Bride, which is that's fun for everyone, isn't it?
That's just a fun fact.
I saw 4 great white horses.
Yes, very good, Andre. Very good.
Very good. Tom, you might know, as a wrestler, did he ever sort of tag team with people, or is he a solo kind of a guy?
He would have tag team with people over time. He famously had a rivalry with Hulk Hogan. That was when they brought him in, they went him up against Hulk Hogan. And
it makes sense. It makes absolute sense because Hulk Hogan is famously a little bit racist, and we've got an anti-Nazi team here on the French team. It's for branding purposes. That makes perfect sense for me.
Yeah,
merci.
Very good. So yeah, common goal. They have a common goal, and he's in it.
Yeah, I'm just quickly checking Andre the Giant's former tag team partners. The main one was a guy called Haku. I'm just going to check to see if he's Turkish. He's not. We're okay.
If he was Turkish, Tom, believe me, he'd have been on the one sheet I could find on Wikipedia of Turkish people that are famous enough that we would know who they are. There's loads if you're Turkish, but we're not. So
yeah. And also he was in wrestling. Apparently, he was undefeated between 1973 and 1986, which is. I mean, that's just bad writing in terms of a wrestling script. But hey, in terms of if you want a winner on your team, sounds like you got the right guy.
Yeah, he was a big lad and just didn't bloody lose. It's good.
It's a great choice.
Also, in wrestling mythology, the Big Show is Andre the Giant's son. Of course, not in reality. He's just another large man. But I'm just saying that if you follow wrestling lore, then technically the Big Show is also French.
I did not know. I will have my manager maybe book him.
Very good. Well, who else have you booked, Eric? Who else is on your list?
Well, for defense, I have 2 very, very good defense tactics. One is Marie Curie, Nobel Peace Prize winner of both physics and chemistry. She's the only woman that won 2 Nobel Peace Prizes. And one of the reasons that I have her in defense is because she is radioactive. And so no one wants to come close to her, which is quite good. It's quite a good tactic. I mean, even my team players do not want to approach Marie because as the grass dies around her. It's not green, it's black. She kills everything. Oh, yes, it's a strange tactic, but it works. No one approaches Marie.
We have got, I believe, a controversy on our hands here. Because I believe, did Marie Curie, if this is not true, this can be cut, but did Marie Curie not get also picked for the Polish team?
She is born in Poland, but she was also naturalized in France. So it's like me saying that I am French, but I'm also British, you know what I mean?
Robin, and if she had played for Poland in our podcast, that would be an issue. But you're remembering when she was picked for the mothers team.
Oh, she was picked by
the mothers team is not a national team, so Marie Curie is a legit pick. This is her now playing for her national side. She chose France over Poland.
Yeah,
and that's
okay.
You as the Turkish manager just got to respect.
That's great. I'm thrilled to hear it. So she plays her club football with Mothers FC, and her international game is done with France. Great to know. Great to know.
That's correct. We play by the rules. The FA, of course, stands for French.
It does. That is true. It does. I've heard that before.
That's a stupid one.
Oh my god. Yes. Well, thank you for breaking that down for us. Marie Curie is obviously very, very good choice. Is she much of a winner before? I mean, I don't know if she's been on many podiums.
Much of a winner. She won 2 Nobel Peace Prizes.
Nobel Prizes. So she's been.
I don't know if it's peace, but it's Nobel Prizes. Nobel Prizes.
Yeah. In science.
Yeah, that's
in fact,
pretty good.
She won in 2 different. She won in chemistry and physics as well. She's the only person to win in 2 different sciences.
And physics is very, very useful in football because it is literally physics. Our bodies are made of chemistry, and it is important to have chemistry between players. The noise next door will know this. And then physics, football. Need I say more? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Marie Curie. She did a good job for Mothers FC, and I think on the international stage, she's really gonna light things up. Great pick.
It's very good.
Yes. She is also radio active, and maybe that also means that she can tune into the frequency of the opposite team's radio channel to hear the Turkish manager maybe whisper some little secrets to his players. I don't know if that's what it means. I have not done.
Yeah, I think the Turkish famously use earpieces, right? Isn't that right, Robin? Earpieces all the time?
Yeah, all the time. Bluetooth headsets is what we're going to be using for me and all the players.
Yeah, so you can crack into that.
And for my final chosen player, I have René Descartes. Because his philosophy, his truth bombs, will be whispered in the opposite team's ears. And he'll say things like, this could all be fake and this could just be in a brain, right? And they'll start panicking and they'll have a little existential crisis and they'll be distracted and not play football properly because they'll think, all of this could be fake and maybe we are just a cervelle in a jar.
Yeah, because he's a philosopher, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there you go.
I mean, I think
philosophical on the pitch.
Therefore, I am. I don't know.
So a thoughtful defender here. So one that's going to be sort of, not just sliding in with her uranium rods, but this guy is seeing what the game looks like. He's analysing the game as well. I feel like you've got a lot of action on the pitch, and now this is a more of a thoughtful approach, which I think the team needs. It adds some balance, I think.
Yeah, he invented analytical geometry, which means that he knows the angles of the ball.
Wait, he invented analytical geometry?
Well, so it's Cartesian. It's Cartesian geometry. So it's the z-axis, the y-axis, and the x-axis. And if you know the point of center, and then you have the data about the other point, let's say the ball, for example, then you can then have all sorts of geometry and trigonometry made up. So the Cartesian system, yes. Is thanks to him. I mean, his name is Descartes, of the cards, of the... I don't know where I'm going with this, but...
of the cards, so he might get
yellow cards, red cards, green cards.
A bit of a wild card.
Maybe we can cut that one out. We can cut that one out.
No, it's gold. It's gold and it's staying.
Merci.
Fantastic. Okay, well, hey, you've got a great team there. Do you have anyone who didn't quite make the team? Anyone in your subs bench or anyone working backstage that you feel needs a mention?
Gérard Depardieu.
Sure.
Bien sûr. He's a good friend of France, but he's always drinking. That makes it quite difficult to have some nice complicité among the team.
Yeah, he's on refreshments.
Albert Camus, we love him. But he's always talking about suicide, and that brings the team down.
Oh, no.
He makes good points. Do you have a coffee or do you have a suicide? But it's Albert. There's not just two choices. It's not just coffee and suicide. There's loads of different things.
Yeah.
Donc voilà. Marion Cotillard.
Wow,
Of course, great actress. I think she's too beautiful. She would distract everybody.
And of course, the pitch is Jean Dujardin's playing on the enormous naked, I'm assuming. I'm imagining him naked. I don't know why. Just would seem weird.
That's up to you. That's up to you how you imagine him. But as French people, we are comfortable with our bodies. It is you English who are the prudes. But we are comfortable. And yes, to play on Jean Dujardin's naked body is... it would be complimentary, huh?
Very good. Well, they were very Trey Bond choices. Eric, could you just run us through one more time of your starting Fantasy 5?
Bien sûr. The choices are 1. Charles de Gaulle. 2. Jeanne d'Arc. 3. André the Giant. 4. Marie Curie. Et 5. René Descartes. I don't know why I said 4. I could have said 4.
You also said 3.
And yes, it's multiple languages in one brain is very difficult, as René Descartes will be able to.
Thank you so much, Eric. Coming up, we are going to have Robin with Team Turkey right after this.
A podcast from producerpaul.co.uk.
Donc maintenant, Mathieu, l'équipe de France sont finis. We are finished with France. We're not speaking about it anymore. We're talking about Turkey. And following on from the way that Eric introduced his team, I think it's important that I say, Türkçe konuşamıyorum, which means I do not speak Turkish. So let's move on. Here we go.
Learn one phrase.
Gonna learn one phrase. I'm going to start in defense. with a really important person in Turkish history, and that is going to be Sultan Mehmed II. Sure. Okay, now I'll just briefly, for those of you unfamiliar with Mehmed II, I can't imagine there's many of you, he was born in 1432. He lived until 1481. He was crowned Sultan at the age of 12. For the first time. He did it for a couple of years, and then his dad was like, actually, I'm going to come back to the throne, took over as Sultan again, but Mehmed was like, nah, and just refused to let go of the title of Sultan. Even though he disappeared off, he just clung to that title for the whole time. During his first reign as Sultan, aged 12 to 14, he put down a crusade sent by a Hungarian, and in his second reign as Sultan from the age of 20 in 1451, he conquered Constantinople. Okay, so he's sort of responsible for the Ottoman Empire. So in terms of an aggressive player, talk to me about Mehmed II. A couple of hilarious things that he did. When he was 20, the second time he became Sultan, the very first thing he did was punish a load of people who didn't give him the traditional gift of ascension. So he just was livid that they hadn't given him a present. And I love that. But he did a few things which I think are going to make him really important in my defense. The first thing he did is he codified criminal law in Turkey. So he knows the laws. So where we've got a French player who's going to be getting all the cards, Mehmed II is getting none of the cards. Okay, he codified the law. He knows it. He knows the rules. Okay, he was actually incredibly tolerant for his time, and so I think he's going to get along quite well with the rest of my team, who are a bit of a mishmash, lots of different political beliefs going in there. But he was considered, very, very tolerant for the time. Having said that, he was tolerant if you were one of his lot. If you're not one of his lot, even by the standards of the 1400s, he was considered a real hard bastard. So he's just a lump in my defense, a big, hard lump in my defense, not getting any bookings and conquering Constantinople.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a solid pick right off the bat. Right at the beginning there, you said he clung to the title of Sultan. And so if they're defending champions, he's really going to cling to the title.
That's absolutely right. I love the fact that he was like a 14-year-old kid, and his dad was like, I'm going to come back now. I'm going to be Sultan. Because basically what happened was his dad had to give up the sultanship, as a part of a peace treaty that he had signed. And when the peace treaty went kaput, he was like, I'll do it again, no worries. And I love the idea of this 14-year-old kid being like, no, it's mine. You can't be Sultan anymore. And just running away and doing some tutoring. So yeah, Mehmed II, my defense. He's my only defender, sole defender. Only need one. He conquered Constantinople and then defended it. He built the Ottoman Empire. King of defense.
Nice. I mean, yeah, he's got he had a goal of a universal empire and also wants to stop goals going in.
Exactly.
He has his goal direction sorted.
Yeah, he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants, and he's going to get it. So we'll move on. We'll move on to my defensive midfielder. So I'm going for a 1-2-1 formation. And my defensive midfielder, now this is the name that I am going to butcher, and I'm really sorry. I'm going to do my absolute best. I believe you pronounce it Naim Suleimanoglu. That's how you pronounce his name, Naim Suleimanoglu. Now, he was a weightlifter, okay? Now, he is often considered to be the best pound-for-pound Olympic weightlifter of all time. Okay, so we know just through that he is going to be able to carry the whole team. Okay, he's just he literally carry the whole team. He was right. This is mad. This statistic. This is his best. Okay, because obviously we know that at Fantasy 5 we choose the statistic that best represents the thing that we're looking for. So he was 62 kilograms. His best lift was 190 kilograms. That's 3.15 times his body weight, which is the highest ratio of all time. So basically what I'm saying is he is the strongest man alive ever to have actually lived in the real world. His nickname was...
Andre, relax, Andre. It's a
actually,
different team.
I would love to know how heavy in kilograms Andre the Giant was. Can somebody find that out? Because I reckon
I will look.
I reckon my guy Naim can lift him. And therefore, that's going to be a battle for the ages. Now, he's playing in defensive midfielder. Because, as I said, he's got that ability to carry the whole team. How heavy was he, Eric?
236 kilograms.
Bugger, he can't lift him.
Yeah, but the number you just gave there, though, will have been the weight he could, either clean and jerk or it would have been a weightlifting lift. I'm sure with just a sort of, barrel pickup, I reckon he could get him off the ground.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Over his head is a different situation.
Yeah. So he just won heaps, loads of gold medals at the Olympics. He won gold medals at all the world championships, just crazy successful. So I know he's got experience of big competitions, so he's going to be able to hold his own in this massive game against France. And the main thing, a real thing for me is... he was actually born in Bulgaria to a Turkish family. Now, in order to compete in the 1988 Olympics, Turkey paid Bulgaria $1.25 million just to use him, just to have him as theirs. So, that thing that sometimes footballers suffer with, which is when a really high transfer fee has been paid, they sort of get to, and they sort of muck it up a little bit for a while. There's going to be no problem with that. He's used to it. He's ready. So that's Naim.
That's pretty good. I guess the biggest concern that's all on our minds is that as an multi-Olympic gold medalist, he's not going to be very subtle on the pitch. He's going to be clanking and jangling around like a giant pair of keys. You're always going to know where he is on the pitch.
Yeah, I also imagine he's not going to be running especially fast because he is going to always be carrying 190 kilograms on his back. So, because he likes to show off. He's one of the best, isn't he? Yeah. So, I agree. But that's why he's, the defensive midfielder often described as the anchor man of the team. I think, how are you going to be more of an anchor man than a man who weighs 62 kilograms plus 190 kilograms of extra weight that he's just carrying around with him?
Yeah. Indeed.
That's one way to throw your weight around, isn't it?
It is. Well, also the other thing is, what was his surname? Manglu. You don't want your Manglu all over the pitch. That's one thing you want to keep in one spot.
I agree. That's why he's a specialist at the clean and jerk. So he cleans and then jerks. Okay, so it's not everywhere. Don't worry.
He should really do that the other way around.
He really should. He really should.
In order to clean and jerk in, definitely jerk then clean, guys. That's just good advice.
that is a weird way around. Okay, so we've spent him. What's next?
Okay, we're moving up the pitch. Moving up the pitch to my attacking midfielder. Okay, so I think this is probably the most famous man in the history of Turkey. I would certainly say, and that is going to be Kemal Ataturk. Now, Kemal Ataturk was just a huge political figure in Turkey, sort of 20s to 30s to 40s, that sort of period of time. So in 1928, here's a great thing that he did. He decided that he wanted to use a Latin-based alphabet rather than an Arabic-based alphabet in order to increase levels of literacy. So he just created Turkish. He was just I'm just going to do Turkish. and overnight, people who were literate, sort of like, intelligent people who could read and write in Arabic, just suddenly became illiterate. They just couldn't do it anymore. So Ataturk took it upon himself to go round to villages, to towns, and teach people Turkish. That's like me just making up a language and being like, guys, I'm going to talk to you about this word, chosmafrob, and I'll tell you exactly what it means. I just love it. I love the audacity to be like, yeah, I'm going to do a language, and they loved it. It was hugely popular. So and it worked. Like literacy rates absolutely skyrocketed after that. So that's part of the reason he's in there. He's a great educator, and I think that sort of level of experience is going to be great for the rest of the team. Okay.
Well, I would like to say, Robin, siktir git.
Shit, he's done some Turkish.
Yes, I just did some Turkish Google Translate, and you do not know what I told you.
It's pretty good.
Siktir git indeed. Siktir git.
Shit, I'm being played at my own language. It's terrible. So a few other cool things he did before. Listen, he introduced just sweeping reforms for women. So Turkey was one of the very first nations in the world to grant universal suffrage so that women had equal rights to men, which is incredible, obviously. So you know that he's an equality guy. So he's going to be sharing out the ball left, right, and centre. He's not going to mind. He's a good dude, just a good dude, really. So a few reasons that he's my attacking midfielder specifically is he's going to attack the box like he attacked Turkey's existing political systems. Sure. Okay, he's going to get in there and destroy them for his own gain, and I love that. He actually allowed the construction of an opposition party. So when he took over, it was like done with sultans and things like that still. But he allowed people, he was like, yeah, let's get an opposition. That's the right way to do things. So, he's going to absolutely thrive on this competition. He's not going to mind that there is competition in play. My favorite fact about him is he was actually born Ali Riza Oglu Mustafa. Okay. And he got chosen his name for him by the Turkish parliament for just being a really good Turk. So Ataturk actually translates as father of the Turks. So the fans have already got a nickname for him. It's amazing. I love it.
It's very good.
And also the good thing about his surname is if he scores any goals or does any incredible bits of football, you can just say his surname and he'll take it as a compliment. Just go, oh, Ataturk.
Exactly.
Robin,
exactly.
I do not know if you heard the garbage trucks passing me just then, but that was in reference to you and your team.
He's got sound effects. What's going on? I don't know about this. So that's Ataturk. He's in the middle, and now we're getting to.
Just a quick thing about Ataturk. Yeah. He actually has a football stadium named after him, so presumably he knows his way around a pitch.
You'd hope so. Was he there when it was opened? Who knows? Well, doesn't matter.
If he lived 100 years, then yes, it was renovated in 2020. Sure, why not? But yeah, I reckon. But that means he just has an insight. He just knows, obviously, the layout of the pitch. He knows where the toilets are.
Important stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a Bill Clinton quote, weirdly, which was like about Ataturk, which he said, Shakespeare wrote, Einstein thought, Ataturk built. Like, that's how Clinton rated him in terms of, like, on the level of sort of, if he had to pick one political leader, for him it was Shakespeare, Einstein, Ataturk. And I think that's
pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't find that in my research. That's pretty decent. Yeah. He was an amazing man by all accounts. Creating a language, he introduced free education. He basically completely reformed Turkey to the point where they now have an entire political system which is named after him. It's called Kemalism, and it's not after his surname. It's just his first name, like Kanye.
That'd be like inventing a thing and just calling it Robinism.
Robinism, yeah.
This is Robinism because my name is Robin.
They do not call it an erection for no reason.
Right. I'm getting a bit weird now, guys. We're going to go up front to my attacker.
Yeah.
My attacker is, and unbelievably, I would say, arguably the most globally famous Turk. Maybe ever, but certainly currently. My striker is the Salt Bay.
The Salt Bay.
The Salt Bay. This is a meme that did the rounds a few years ago. It's a guy, it's a Turkish man wearing glasses, throwing salt onto a steak, sort of like over his elbow.
That dude!
Yeah, so that guy is a Turkish guy, and he is my striker for a few reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, flair. If he's putting salt on steak like that, you know that he's going to be doing tricks. He's going to be flipping stuff over. He's just going to be incredible for flair. He's a showman, and I love that about him. All right, and that's so he's star of my team. He's not my captain. My captain is in goal. I'm going to come to that last, but it was very, very close because the fans are just going to love him. Think of all the social media deals. Oh God, I'm going to be dripping in that Insta money. You're not going to be able to move for it because of Salt Bae. And the final reason, really, I don't need too many because I just think it's such a strong pick, is he's used to playing when the stakes are very high.
Hey, hey,
boo. Yeah, I mean, he's stylish, he's cool, and he's gone from like the guy, whatever his real name is. Let's just call him Salt Bae.
Salt Bae is his name.
He's gone from that like this tiny restaurant where he did fun salt to being like an international superstar.
Yeah,
cooks for. Did you see that clip of him cooking for Maradona?
Yeah, well,
amazing.
That is actually a really big part about why he's on my team. I've seen clips of him cooking for Maradona, Ronaldo, David Beckham, and Messi.
Yeah.
So my guy knows footballers. Yeah. So if we're talking, obviously the one rule of Fantasy 5 is you can't pick any actual footballers, but I got bloody close, just in terms of advice. You know?
Oh, interesting that he did not cook for French people, the masters of cuisine. Maybe he's not that very good, huh?
But
maybe
if he's put salt on a real footballer, he'll have picked up something. You've got to give him that.
Yeah.
Although we are known to be snails, and salt is very dangerous for our skin. So, touche, Robin.
Well, this is it. This is it. Sort of sprinkling salt all around. I also thought like just a little bit of skullduggery, a little bit of salt in the French water. You know, just a little bit. Oh, I'm feeling quite parched. Actually, I'll have a drink. Oh no, now I'm being sick.
Sorry, one of your tactics is to get your striker to artfully sprinkle salt into the opponent's water bottles.
Yeah, but what an art. Over the elbow.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Slowly degrading their kidneys.
Yeah, that's what I'm after. So Salt Bae, up front, is for the flair, it's for the Insta money, it's for the stakes are high joke that I did once.
Solid pick, man.
And now, gosh, this is the best pick. He's in goal. It's my captain. Now, there's a little story with this. One time, when I was about 12, the one time I've been to Turkey, I went.
One time you were 12?
I was 12 then as well, yeah.
Oh, were you Sultan?
I was Sultan briefly in the 1400s. I went to the seaside resort of Marmaris, right? And in Marmaris, along the seafront, oh, lovely, there was a man who served ice cream, and I'm having that guy.
Hey,
I'm having that guy.
Big impact on you.
I'll tell you why. Right, you must have seen on YouTube, you must have seen the videos of the guys who have the really long metal poles, and when they're serving you ice cream, you're just constantly trying to get your ice cream, but it's constantly flipping, and like it's sort of stuck to the pole for a little bit, and there's two cones, and then there's no ice cream in your cone, and it's like wizardry. If you haven't seen this, you need to YouTube it before I go into all this stuff, because it's not going to make sense. Have you seen it, Tom?
I know exactly what you're talking about. They basically a guy pays for an ice cream and then they just punk him for 5 minutes, not giving him the ice cream, but he constantly thinks he's getting the ice cream.
Yeah, and then you basically end up with just a cone of milk at the end because it's been so long, but you love it and you've had a wicked time. Now, just the hand wizardry required. It's magic. He's a magician. This man's a magician of the dairy world. He's a magician. And that sort of hand wizardry is the main reason in my goal. Now, it's interesting because the French team have gone for sort of like big, brawny, powering goal. I've made that mistake with King Kong and, big gorillas and all sorts of stuff, and I'm not doing it again. So instead, I've gone for a little nimble boy. That one guy from Marmaris whose name I don't know what it is, but I know he's Turkish because he told me he was from Istanbul.
So your pick is ice cream guy from Marmaris?
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah.
Okay.
From Marmaris. Yeah.
Just so we know what to put on the back of the shirt. So we can
it will say that one guy from Marmaris who did the ice cream for Robin in 2004. Okay. 2004 ice cream boy. Number 2004 ice cream man. That's what it would say. So mad hat tricks, right? I'm also going to have, we are allowed accessories. Fantasy 5, we've got that. He's bringing his pole with him. He's having a little ball of ice cream in the pole, because then it's just sticky. He's just got a sticky pole with which to catch the ball. Honestly, this man was incredible. The things he could do with a scoop of mint choc chip, you've never seen the like.
Wait, you're 12 years old and having mint choc chip.
I love it. Do you know what my favourite is? Mint choc chip with chocolate and vanilla. Those three flavours together. Oh, hello, mama. Yes, please. That's what I want.
Mint choc chip's not a child flavour of ice cream. That's for tired old grandparents.
No, rum and raisin is for tired old grandparents.
That's for the tiredest old grandparents.
Yeah, that's the last meal, isn't it? Okay. He brings the ice cream. He's going to do ice cream stuff in half time, obviously.
Nice.
So while he's doing all his ice cream tricks, Salt Bae is going to be putting the salt in the water, and the French team aren't going to know what's hit them. We can hope. I don't know if anyone knows if Joan of Arc was dairy intolerant, but we can, fingers crossed. And also, obviously, he works with ice cream a lot, so it's just very cool, isn't he?
Boo.
By nature and temperature.
I mean, do you know what I thought I knew? When you were like, my cat, you also stated this was your captain.
Yeah.
When
he was the man. He was the boss.
He was your childhood.
I remember it so clearly. I can even remember what he was wearing. He was wearing a purple t-shirt. I really remember him. He made such an impact on me.
When you said, my last pick in goal, he's my captain, I know he's going to pick. I've got this. Of course it's going to be. But you haven't gone for it.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I'm interested. Have you got anyone on the bench? Have you got any backups or
Don't need to.
backroom
Don't
staff?
need to.
You've got no additional players whatsoever?
No one. I thought about having an actual turkey, but they were actually from North America, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah. What about St. George?
Is he Turkish?
Yeah, St. George is Turkish.
He doesn't appear on the list of famous Turkish people.
I'm pretty sure St. George is Turkish, isn't he? That's the whole thing. Everyone's like, yeah, St. George, but he was a Turkish guy. Let me check that.
Oh. Well, if he was, unfortunately, he didn't make it. He's busy.
Didn't need the help.
Didn't need it.
Check. He was born in Cappadocia, modern day Turkey. There you go.
There you go. Well, no, he didn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut. There was nowhere left in my team when I've got that one guy with the ice cream. I've got a weightlifter, Kemal Ataturk, Mehmed, and Salt Bae. Where's he going to go? Take up the space that Salt Bae's in? You're going to put a saint instead of Salt Bae? You're an idiot.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Robin, great choices there. Remind us one more time of your starting at Fantasy 5.
With pleasure. In defence, I've got Mehmed II. In my defensive midfield, I've got Naim Suleimanoglu. My attacking midfielder is Kemal Ataturk. Up front, I've got Salt Bae. And in goal, my captain, the man, the myth, the legend, is that one guy from Marmaris in 2004.
And that is Team Turkey. Although we have the teams, let's see how the managers are feeling about their chances. Eric, Team France, you're the home team. Feeling good?
We are feeling always good. That's the thing. From the outside perspective, you see us smoking cigarettes and complaining, but actually that is the way of life of France. We are always very happy. We.
Thank you very much. And Robin, Turkey boy.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. It's not my. I'll be honest. I don't feel the strongest I've ever felt going into a game. I'm worried that Kemal Ataturk, very much of the new school, and Mehmed II, very much of the old school, might have a few ideological clashes. We do know that Mehmed was very tolerant, but Kemal did destroy his entire way of living. So I am worried about that. But the chemistry between Salt Bae and that one guy from Marmaris in 2004 in goal is going to be amazing, because we know that Salted Caramel works amazingly, so they can get together and do some magic. So it's sort of like a 50-50 worry.
Yes, but Marie Curie will destroy that chemistry.
Oh, it's good. Well, do you know what? There's only one thing left to do. It's time for kickoff.
Welcome to this glorious stadium, the naked body of Oscar-winning actor Jean Dujardin. Players are walking out onto the fleshy field. It's set to be a wild game.
The French players all having a pre-match cigarette, whilst the Turkish all eat a doner kebab.
What an exceptional group of athletes. The Turkish team are being given a team talk by their captain, a truly inspirational leader of men.
Kemal Ataturk, the founder of the Turkish Republic.
No.
Mehmed the Conqueror, the Sultan of Two Lands?
No, it's a nameless ice cream guy from Marmaris in 2004.
Right.
It's time for kickoff, and Salt Bay sprinkles the ball back to Ataturk, and we are off.
Ataturk has not only given women the right to vote, he's also given the ball to Sune Manoglu, who is expected to do a lot of the heavy lifting in the middle of the park.
René Descartes with a considered challenge on the weightlifter, and the ball's gone out for a throw-in.
Joan of Arc may be the Maid of Orleans, but right now she looks like she's made of awesome football skills. She slips past Mehmed and takes a shot.
Seems to be carried by some sort of divine provenance.
But that one ice cream guy from Amaris 2004 leaps and somehow blocks the ball with the little pole he uses to taunt children. Oh, it's a stunning save.
Now, the ice cream guy is going to use that pole to pass it out to Ataturk. Oh, no, he didn't. He was pretending.
All right, here he is now, though, with a short throw to Ataturk. No, no, he's faked it again. Okay, this time, though. Oh, no. Oh, good. Oh, come on. Actually, do pass it, though.
The French team are looking good so far, except Charles de Gaulle, who is not an attractive man.
Marie Curie, suffering from her own radiation there and morphing into a huge radioactive monster.
Her similarity to the Incredible Hulk could be a problem for Hulk nemesis Andre the Giant.
Well, actually, that was Hulk Hogan. He was the nemesis of... No, you're absolutely right. They are attacking each other. It seems that Andre just doesn't like people called Hulk.
That one ice cream guy from Marmaris 2004 sees this as an opportunity and has booted the ball all the way up the pitch from his own goal, and he stuck it in France's. It's 1-0.
Salt Bay just asking Mehmed what the secret to a good conqueror is.
He says you should soak a conker overnight in vinegar.
Manglu takes a stumble in defence and collides with Salt Bay.
Oh, that Manglu is so salty.
Manglu now stumbles again and impales himself on that one ice cream guy from Mammers 2004's ice cream stick.
And now he's just a piece of Turkish meat on a stick.
Sheesh. Ataturk takes it down the wing. Interception by René Descartes.
That's a French.
Descartes pauses momentarily to wonder, is there inherent order in nature or is it all chaos and chance?
Oh, and loses the ball to Mehmed the Conqueror. Charles de Gaulle and Joan of Arc seem to be having a disagreement on the pitch here. Joan wants to kick the ball, but Charles de Gaulle is calling for a ceasefire for the good of his people.
Joan now is refusing to use her legs and is instead issuing a call to arms.
Half-time now, and that one ice cream guy from Marmaris 2004 wants to pop out to the local cash and carry to stock up on Raspberry Ripple for the second half.
Silly Manglu has offered to give him a lift.
And the second half gets underway.
An early tackle on Ataturk by Marie Curie looks quite nasty.
Yes, Ataturk has an open wound there. Marie Curie is trying to help by filling the wound with traditional Turkish hats, and she's mixing it around.
Now, that wound is really starting to fester.
Ouch. Oh, Marie Curie has accidentally spilled some of her radioactive material onto Ataturk.
Oh, he's really not looking well now. Yep, no awesome superpowers. He's just sort of shriveling up like a time-lapse of a raisin in the sun.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're exposed to radiation.
Ah. Charles de Gaulle avoids a hail of gunfire from yet another failed assassination attempt as he thunders down the wing.
Here comes Mehmed. Oh, wow! An audacious turn past the Turkish defender.
The absolute gall of the man. Charles is one-on-one with that one ice cream guy from Amaris 2004.
De Gaulle tries to whip it past him, but no one can outwhip Mr. Whippy himself. The ice cream guy pushes it past his post. Seems we have some big fans of male cows in the crowd today. They over there, you can just see they have a sign that says, I stan bull. It's nice.
It's Istanbul, Tom.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Mehmed to Salt Bay. Back to Mehmed.
The interplay between these forwards is a Turkish delight.
Mehmed shoots for the top corner of the French goal.
But Andre the Giant's 16-inch mitt bats it back out. Mehmed tries again.
But did he forget about Dre? The Giant's reach is huge, and he blocks another one.
The ball now falls to Salt Bay, the steak master. Oh, he's a rare talent. That shot is very well done as he aims low. Oh, the ball goes between the Giants' legs, and it's 2-0 Turkey.
It's almost over now, and Andre the Giant has laid down in his own goal. Well, I mean, who's going to move him?
Of course, Silly Manglou is a professional, but it might take him a while. Well, Andre is 2.24 metres and 236 kilograms. Whichever way you look at it, it's gonna be a long wait.
And there's the final whistle. It's 2-0 to Turkey. Back to the studio.
Whoa, what a game. That will go down in the annals of history. Now let's get the reactions from the managers, starting with the biggest wiener in the woods, Robin.
Mate, that guy from Marmaris, that one guy, 2004. Who knew? Who knew? World class football. I didn't know. I just knew that he was good with dairy. I didn't realise he was going to be the boss that he was on the pitch. Frankly, the rest of the team, embarrassments. But that one guy from Marmaris.
Hey, ice cream jugglers and international footballs are as talented as each other. They are just differently paid.
I'm delighted to have won this fixture, honestly. Any long-term listeners of the podcast will know that the days I win are few and far between. And this one feels real special. Cheers that guy from Marmaris in the purple shirt. I hope you're still selling that sweet mink choc chip.
We now go over to the half-mast waving flag of France. Eric, how do you fare?
Yes, I am a little bit hurt, of course I am a little bit hurt, but I'm proud of my team. I think they did very well. I did not anticipate that the gap between Andre the Giant's legs are big enough for goals. So I suppose that's, you live and learn. You live and learn.
Yeah.
Well, Albert Camus would disagree with that. Very proud of Marie Curie, who took down one of his players just by touching him with her radioactive skin. So proud of her. I'm proud of the whole team, actually. Sometimes you have to lose to win.
Go on.
No. Look, I'm not the philosopher. That's what René just whispered in my ears, and now I can see him laughing. Oh, funny, hein, René? Je suis en train de faire le meilleur pour toi, et tu te fais connard. Non mais attends, oh, je vais te voir, hein. Sorry,
Hey, it happens. Yeah.
Sometimes arguments within the team happen. But no, it was good. Well done for Turkey. Turkey and cockerels do not go well together.
That's true. You can't have both. You just can't have both. Well, that was...
there was a lot of foul play.
There we go.
There it is. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Eric, for being on the show and obviously shepherding an amazing team.
Thanks for having me.
What do people want to do if they want to follow you?
Well, I'll tell you what, so I'm on Instagram and I'm always just, on there. Well, I say always. Yeah, always. I've got a problem. But also YouTube. I've started making some really fun videos. I'd say the last 2 years were quite experimental. But I'm making some really fun stuff on YouTube. So if you're interested in, cinematic language and my progress, because ultimately, I want to make movies both in front of camera and behind. And so if you're interested in that sort of stuff, just check me out on YouTube.
That's fantastic. Or just Eric Lampaert on
Yeah,
YouTube.
just my name, yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm sure to do that. And do say hi to Brad Pitt's garbage next time it comes and gets picked up.
I will do.
Now, to our listeners, thank you for listening today. Let us know what you thought of today's teams or the results on social media. We are at Noise Next Door on the Twitters, the Instagrams, and the Facebooks. We'd love to hear from you. A huge thank you to our incredible producer, Paul, for making us sound great. He didn't actually add in those garbage trucks. They were real, but everything else, it was pure Paul. Please follow Fantasy 5 on your preferred podcast provider and give us a 5-star review if that's something that you would love to do.
We would love you to tune in next time. It's another Euro special. We have got Wales versus Sweden. We have got special guest Jenny Collier coming in. She's an actual Welsh person, and she will be going up against our Swedish team. Can't wait for it. Join us then.
Well, time to say au revoir, and it is time for us to hit the showers.
Excuse-moi, s'il vous plaît. You play for the other team?
Yes, I'm that one ice cream guy from Marmaris 2004.
And what is your actual name?
Juan Guy.
So, you are Juan, that one ice cream guy from Marmaris 2004?
Yes, words are confusing, aren't they?
Oui.
Oh no, you can't in here. This is the showers.